Hey everyone, yeah, I'm filming this on my old Kodak camera. But anyway, by the time you probably see this, it'll be probably remastered into HD, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, thought I'd come here and kind of do a response to what some people have questioned. You know, mostly wrestling with regrets Brian Zane, and of course Pat the NES Punk, and Pat and Ian, the CU podcast, I should say, hashtag CU podcast. And basically I had to say about Rumble. Now, like everybody else, they pretty much felt, like even me, but mostly everybody, that it was probably one of the better Rumbles in a long time. It was structured well, the card was done right. Overall, it was the best Rumble they had in quite a while. However, unfortunately, what is good, there's some bad. And the bad, basically, is the fact that they look at the Royal Rumble match itself. And Brian Zane felt it was a little confusing in how parts of it was structured, and how certain elements were not sold or mentioned or talked about the way they should have been. Pat and Ian over at CU Podcast thought the Rumble was good at the beginning, but as the match went on, it slowly started to wind down. In other words, it started out good, then it slowly degraded into something, not so good. Now, the one thing that they talk about, and obviously they didn't read the reports yet, and Brian Zane, he did his review almost immediately after the Rumble. Basically the one thing that confused him a little bit, as well as I think it kind of caught Pat and Ian at the CU podcast off as well, was how the whole Roman Reigns being attacked and then coming back later on, and as well as the whole Triple H deal. Now, a lot of people predicted Triple H was going to enter. Now, Brian Zane pretty much called it and said, the announcers weren't selling it like, what the hell's going on? What the hell is he doing here? He shouldn't be in this Rumble. He's not an active competitor anymore, blah, 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 blah. But they didn't do that. Well, let me kind of correct you in a sense. Okay? Let me correct you in a sense. You see, the only person that actually sold it as being a little bit of a shrewd move, in other words, too ironic for words, or too ironic to be, was Byron Saxton. He tried to basically say, during the commentary, that it's kind of a coincidence that Roman Reigns is number 1 and Triple H is 30. So he Byron Saxton, I'll give him credit, tried to play it up as Triple H being given the number 30 spot by his father-in-law, Vince McMahon. So, to correct Brian Zane on something, at least you had one commentator try to play it up. Now, Now, with that said, though, the other thing that kind of got them a little confused and all that was the whole Roman Reigns being taken out about 12 minutes to 15 minutes into the Rumble itself. Basically 12 to 15 minutes after the match starts, around entrant 12 or 13, 12, 13, 14, whatever you want to call it, he was taken out by the League of Nations by order of Vince McMahon. Well, even though they played it up similar to 1999, to the point that Roman came out. Now, Roman did come back and basically looked like he was on the verge of winning it, right? He came back, looked like he was on the verge of winning the Royal Rumble match. Now, here's what's interesting. Here's what some people don't understand. Here's what some people don't get. Okay? Here's what some people don't understand and don't get. According to several sources, about a day or two later, the reason Roman Reigns was attacked was part of the story that he was going to come back, defy the odds. You know, he was going to come back, defy the odds, and win the Rumble. But even though he was going to come back and defy the odds and win the Rumble, that didn't happen. Yes, he did come back, kind of defy the odds of the beating that he took, but he didn't win. Now, when I read the reports, apparently it sounds like the plan was for Roman to win. Even after getting beaten down by the League of Nations, the plan was for him to come back and, you know, win the Rumble and keep his championship. That didn't happen. Instead, what happened about around the 12th or 13th entrant into the Royal Rumble match itself. The reason for the attack and the reason he was taken to the back instead of being left for dead on the ground, the reason he was taken to the back by EMTs and all that was for them to restructure the match. I know I'm 8.5 minutes in to getting to that point, but that's the reason he was attacked. Now, like I said, the attack was probably going to happen as planned. Now, the attack was probably going to happen as planned, but the part where I'm thinking he got escorted out of the arena into the back was so they can restructure the match, because of the fact that Roman Reigns getting attacked or getting booed out of the building as soon as he entered, and the way he was being portrayed wasn't helping him. Basically, for the second year in a row, the WWE was on the verge of having the eventual Royal Rumble winner and the first back-to-back winner since Austin, if you will, getting booed out of the building. And they didn't want that. So instead, they had to call the audible with the attack. that instead of probably leaving him for dead or even having him go to the back, come back and win it, they had to call the audible of having him be eliminated by Triple H. That's what they had to do. That's why they went the direction they did, with Ambrose and Triple H as the final two. Because it sounds to me that the original plan was for Reigns to win the Rumble, but because of the reaction he was getting, WWE is like, we can't do that now. That just went down the toilet. So the attack was, went on as scheduled, went on as planned, but the audible that was called was to take him to the back and say, hey, look, we know we're originally supposed to have you win tonight, but the way these fans are reacting, we don't need you being booed out of the building for the second year in a row while we're trying to build you up as the top guy, as the top babyface. So basically, that is why Triple H eliminated him second before eliminating Ambrose. So that's what I believe. So basically, that's why that's why Triple H won the Rumble, and that's why the audible was called. That's why the attack happened the way it did on Roman Reigns, and why he was taken to the back. So, and why things kind of went askew around for a duration of that time. So, hopefully that cleared things up for Brian Zane at Wrestling with Regret, and Pat and Ian at the CU Podcast. And that's about it, and I'll talk to y'all later.